Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm coming to you this time with my daughter Avigayil, who you should wish a mazel tov, because what happened tonight?
Graduated high school.
Graduated high school. My little girl graduated high school. It's nuts. But you know what she's doing next year? Avigayil?
Going to Israel for the year.
A gap year. Now, you'll ask, what does it have to do with this week's Parsha, which is what this video is supposed to be about? What's the connection with the Nazir? So the Nazir is this kind of interesting personality that takes on 3 restrictions that the Torah does not require us to take on, which is, do you remember?
Can't drink wine.
Good.
Can't cut your hair.
Right, can't drink wine, can't cut your hair, and he's not supposed to come in contact with the dead. Now those are 3 things that typically we can do, but the Nazir decides not to do them in order for that person to recharge their batteries spiritually and live a little more of a holy kind of life. You know what's interesting? The Torah says that when a person finishes being a Nazir, which is usually for 30 days, the Torah says in this week's Parsha, Va'achar yishta ha-Nazir yayin. After the Nazir has completed all of his Nazirot oaths and he's finished, then he can drink wine. But what's weird about the verse? It says, Va'achar yishta ha-Nazir yayin. What is weird about it is, why is the Torah still calling him a Nazir? By this point, he's already finished with his oath of Nazirut. He's had that sort of spiritual boot camp, and he's ready to go back to normative halachic Jewish life. So why is the Torah still calling him a Nazir? At this point, he's finished. So the Chazzan Rebbe, say that 10 times fast.
Chazzan Rebbe.
The Chazzan Rebbe, great Hasidic master, suggested, because as long as the Nazir maintains his heightened level of spirituality, after he's done with his oath of Nazirot, he's still a holy person. He's still a Nazir. Because what was the whole point of taking on these added restrictions? In Judaism, we don't have a value in just restricting ourselves for the sake of restrictions. We do them to become holier people. So as long as that person retains their heightened sense of spirituality, because of those restrictions, he is continued to be called a Nazir. And that's really why Avigayil is going to Israel next year.
To become a Nazir.
No, she's not going to. You can, by the way, a man and a woman can become a Nazir. Either one, Ish or Isha, it says. But most people don't become Nazirs, but they may go off to Israel, or they may come to MG and do fellowships, or do anything a little more religiously intense, so that we can elevate ourselves spiritually. And it's a recognition that we need a little more. We just had Shavuos, we stayed up all night. We need to pump ourselves spiritually for these amazing opportunities in life. So I want to give Avigayil a bracha. She should have an amazing spiritual experience in Israel next year, please God, learning Torah all day. And all of us should find something to become a little of a Nazir in our own special way to elevate us, because sometimes we need to put ourselves in those special situations. What do you think? Amen. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks,
Shabbat Shalom.